In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. That over there is Cash Kraus.
How you doing, Mason?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Not too bad. How you surviving this pandemic?
Well, you know, just taking it one day at a time.
That's all we can do.
Yeah.
As American, as citizens, we got to stick together,
And
work together,
and stay home.
Stay
Stay
home.
If there's
My
a message,
God.
stay home.
Did you see the police breakup? It was a toddler's birthday party in L.A. It had to have been 3,000 people.
A toddler's birthday party.
The police
It was
had to, they had
3,000
to call
people.
in like 80 cops to break it up. It was a damn near riot.
That is ridiculous.
Crazy.
So stupid.
A lot
We
of people aren't taking it serious.
No. But you know what we are taking serious, Cash? Our YouTube channel. We got a few new things in the
absolutely,
works. We
yeah.
should probably plug that real quick, let
Go
people
ahead.
know.
Go
We do
ahead.
have a new kind of segment on our YouTube channel. We're doing the top videos. So currently we have a video up, the top 6 basketball movies. And these are all our personal preference in as far as like our favorite movies for whatever genre or whatever we're picking.
Yeah.
But the video coming up is going to be the top 8 trilogies of all time. Or our favorite top.
Of all time, yeah.
Yeah, of all time.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to get some heat for that one.
We will. We will.
Again, it's our
But again,
personal
personal
picks. Yeah.
favorites. Yeah.
Really comes in handy what trilogy came out like when we were kids. I feel like that made a big impact.
Yeah.
So if there was a trilogy that came out when we were kids or saw, that definitely helped. But,
Yeah. So there may be a little bit of bias, but again, our personal choices.
yeah, absolutely.
So,
But we'll still get hate mail for it.
but yeah, we're having fun doing that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's kind of weird, Cash, because we have a podcast.
We got to come up with a name for it. We
do,
will
yeah.
eventually come up for a name.
We'll come up with like
it
the
won't
Have
be
You
top
Seen It?
It's
Top
got to be
something, I don't know.
something good. Yeah. Let us know if you got any.
We call it like our let us know if you have any title ideas
Yeah,
for what
exactly.
it can be.
Yeah.
It can be like our personal picks or something.
Absolutely.
Who
Could be
knows?
Something, but
And it's funny too because we were primarily those videos we do voiceover work.
yes, we
We
do.
have a podcast, Cash. We talk.
Yes.
We have done this for, we're sneaking up on 4 years. Do you know that?
Absolutely.
We're sneaking up on 4 years that this podcast has been around. But
But it's natural. It's a
it's
conversation.
natural. It's a
when you're
conversation.
having a podcast.
But man, me and you sweating bullets when we're trying to do this voiceover work because, you know, we're doing the research. We're writing things
Absolutely.
down.
My hat is off to voice actors. Especially imagine 8 guys watching you read lines.
Oh, I've done it. I've done it
I
many
know,
times.
it's horrible.
dude,
yeah. It's horrible. I didn't think it'd be that hard, but it is horrible.
It is nerve-wracking, especially when they ask you to make weird ambient noises. Like there was one time I was doing this like bird animation short film, and they had me put a bunch of bananas in my mouth, and they're like, make smacking noises and talk. And then they were like telling me different ways to smack it. And I'm like, but you know, you start getting antsy because you're like, I want to do it right, but I don't know exactly what you want, you know. But voiceover work it's hats off to those people who do it like professional, who do it all the time because it is hard work.
Yeah, some people don't say those guys aren't real actors.
They are real actors.
Fucking real actors
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah.
Because you do it on the spot and be able to do so many different like characters and shit.
In different voices.
It's nerve wracking to me, man. I'm so far not a fan, but
you know,
but we'll get better at it.
yeah, exactly. Because we got to put ourselves in uncomfortable positions so we get better and improve our channel. So,
Because the first time we did the podcast, I was nervous as hell too, and it probably sounded like shit.
Oh, yeah.
And now I still probably sound like shit,
no, definitely not.
but I'm confident shit.
You are confident shit.
But yeah, we are reviewing a movie today.
We
Do
are.
we have any other plugs?
No, I think
Anything
that's
else?
it.
Yeah, we
No,
are
not
reviewing
really.
today, and we are keeping.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Always, yeah. We'll tell you that
yeah.
now. We'll tell you that at the end.
We'll tell you that every time. Yep.
But we are keeping with the general theme
Yes, we
We
are.
thought, why not? Why not? Let's keep the panic going.
What, is this 3 weeks going with this theme that we've been on now?
I don't know, and I will keep
mean,
it going until this
Contagion.
goddamn virus
I
is
know.
cured. We are
Someone's
staying
gotta
strong.
cure it.
Someone's got to cure it. Why not us?
Why not? Why not the greatest country of all time?
No, why not me and you?
Oh, me and you.
Yeah,
well, we
personally.
could. Just from going through all the movies, they're like,
Imagine the money
hold
we
on.
make.
Maybe that Have You Seen It podcast is on to something.
Yeah.
Maybe they're putting together the pieces for how we combat this coronavirus.
Just cure it. If you're listening to me out there, government, just cure it.
Yeah, enough with the press conferences.
Quit
Just
playing
Hear
games.
our podcast.
Quit playing games.
Yes.
Well, yeah, so we're keeping it going, and I thought, what a great movie to watch. A mindfuck movie.
I am
if your,
so
if your
glad.
mind's not already fucked, just with the general events going on in the world.
And if you haven't gone completely stir crazy being quarantined
Absolutely.
for the last 3 weeks.
So I thought,
yeah.
what movie would be more perfect than the 2011 psychological thriller drama Take Shelter, directed by Jeff Nichols and starring my man, personal friend of the show. We know he's always...
God, we love this man.
We love him. Michael Shannon.
Yes. A truly one of a kind. Truly one of a
I
kind.
said
We
it
love
before. I
Michael.
think he's my favorite current actor.
Yeah, he is.
Every
And he is the scariest motherfucker of all
Yes.
time when he gets angry.
everything he's in, I love. I don't think there's ever in something that I don't like.
And I'm so glad like we're reviewing this today because I didn't even know this movie existed.
This movie went extremely under the radar. It came out in 2011, and it's definitely my favorite film of 2011.
Yeah.
I saw it once, and I've seen it a few times since then. And I rewatched it, for the podcast. But man, it holds up. Every time I rewatch it, I find something else that I love about it.
So this is a Sony Pictures classic. That's who it's distributed by.
Yeah, and that's their
I'm assuming
indie.
that's obviously under the Sony banner, but it's the indie banner.
It's their
or
indie.
the
band,
indie.
yeah. Sony Classics. They do a ton
okay.
of really really small films, but yeah, it's cool that Michael Shannon does big films and he does these little tiny art house films.
And you were
also.
telling me earlier too that you're a pretty big fan, or I mean, the work that you've seen Jeff Nichols do, you really have liked so far.
Oh, he's awesome. I think he's only done 4 films. I haven't seen his first film, and his first film is supposed to be amazing, Shotgun Stories. But I've seen Mud, I've seen Loving, and I've seen my favorite is Midnight Special because it's sci-fi. But yeah, he's everything he does. It's amazing. He's pretty good.
Yeah, yes.
And yeah, he directs and writes everything he does as well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of hats that guy's wearing.
Yep.
A lot of hats. But I said, I told you that Michael Shannon has been in every single film that he's directed.
You
So
know,
they
I've
obviously
noticed
have
directors like to do that too. They like to work with the same people who know you're gonna you know exactly what you're gonna get.
If
every
you
single
find a
time.
Michael Shannon or you find a Leonardo DiCaprio,
keep
and
him around, or a Robert De Niro with Scorsese,
and he's fine. But some
Yeah.
some directors, they don't like that. Some directors do a new cast almost every time. David Fincher, he almost always does a new cast. He likes working with new people, but I see it both ways.
Yeah, definitely.
I see having something fresh, but I see sticking with one guy that and then the guy that knows you as well.
Yeah.
So it's easy to direct him. But yeah, they found something sweet with that. What did you think about this, Mason? I'm very excited to hear.
Okay, yeah. So you said Take Shelter. Had no idea. When you when you sent me the title, I was like, I don't know anything about this movie. So I looked up the synopsis and I was like, okay, this seems intriguing. But the way the synopsis was put out, I almost thought that this was going to be a horror film, but it wasn't. It was more of a as you said earlier, a psychological thriller. But man, I gotta tell you, it is right up my alley. These are my favorite kind of movies. If I could only direct, if I could only put together one movie in my life, it would be a slow burn film like this. Because you really understand the characters, you know what it's so well fleshed out that you're like, when you get to the end, you're like, oh, this all makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's what's this film was awesome. I really, jumping into it, I'm super excited to talk about it.
Just the story, but the way it's made too, the editing is so good in this. That's the thing you take away from it. The editing is so good. But yeah.
And even the cinematography as well.
Yeah, and the score. They all work very, very well together. It just shows you how good Jeff Nichols is, I guess. But
they did some cool shots too, like with the storm, but they did it on the reflective sliding glass door.
Oh yeah.
And I love to get the facial expression of the actor and also the significance of the storm at the same time.
And they used
beautiful.
just a tiny bit of CGI that worked perfectly for that scene when all the all the furniture's floating up
Yes.
was all CGI, and the birds, of course, were all CGI. But it's just,
But the birds
that's
look
the
great.
amount of CGI I want in my films.
Exactly.
I want
We're not a-
0.001% CGI, unless it has to be done, like Thanos.
Like Avatar.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
Avatar.
Avatar.
Yeah, exactly. Or
No way around that.
exactly. Yeah, but yeah, for a film like this, exactly. But the story, like you said, it's one of my favorite stories, and stories like this where you think you know where it's going the entire time. The entire time you think, and then something,
And then it'll throw you for a loop.
and you'll be like, oh fuck, now I don't think anything I was thinking is right at all.
Yeah, and then the toying back and forth, with the actual character itself. There's sometimes where you're like, oh, the history. You don't know. Maybe this man is a schizophrenic. Oh no,
Exactly.
maybe he's not. No. I see his side. He's seeing these visions.
And then you find out his mom is schizophrenic. So you're like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, he probably is schizophrenic. And
and
it runs
right
in
around the
family,
same
of course.
time too, the same age.
And you can see and Michael Shannon's so good because he says so little, but you could see so much emotion with
On
him.
his face.
You can
Absolutely.
see how fucking worried he is constantly that he might be crazy.
Yes.
Constantly, he's worried. He's not worried about himself.
He's not naive to it either.
No, he's not
Yeah,
worried
he
about
knows
himself,
it.
though, but he's worried about that once he goes crazy, he won't be able to protect his family anymore. He could care less if he himself goes crazy, but not being able to protect your family.
Right.
That's
And
the
your
thing that
daughter
scares him.
who's deaf as well.
Yeah.
know.
And then you got to think, oh, fuck, now maybe he's worried that she's probably schizophrenic. You got to think it's crazy, man.
Well, yeah, because it is hereditary.
But that's what this movie is about, right? Mental illness.
Yes.
Right? That's what the entire thing is pretty much an allegory for. I mean, that and
there's a lot of biblical stuff in this film too that you can take away from it, with like Noah
Exactly,
in
yeah.
the ark and trying to warn. And was Noah a schizophrenic?
well, yeah.
At the time, a lot of people probably thought that in ancient day, like this man is batshit
Well,
crazy.
that's what they say about every prophet. Was anyone that ever heard a voice was most likely schizophrenic.
Right.
But does that mean that the voice is wrong? That's the
I
thing.
don't know. Yeah, sometimes.
I mean, a lot of cultures, in our culture, schizophrenics are violent most of the time.
Yes.
But that's only seen in our culture. It's very weird. If you go see schizophrenics in other culture, it's not violent. They're not telling them to do violent things with voices in their head and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's just like a Western culture where that happens. So it's crazy.
Yeah, it
but
is.
that kind of stuff is what fucks with you the entire time you're watching this. But what I heard is Michael Shannon went into this and did no research on schizophrenia because his character in the movie knows absolutely nothing about it.
Ooh, that's smart.
So he went into it. Yeah, he's a smart man.
Again, yeah,
he's a
yeah,
very smart.
He's a pro.
man.
He knows what he's doing. He's a vet.
Should we get into the breakdown?
Yeah, let's jump into this.
Let's do it. So it takes place in LaGrange, Ohio. What a beautiful landscape Ohio is.
A lot of farmland.
Flat.
Yeah, just
Flat as it goes.
yeah.
And it stars Michael Shannon as Curtis, what was his name, LaForge?
LaForge, yeah.
LaForge.
We'll commonly refer to him as Curtis.
Yeah, exactly. And he starts to have apocalyptic dreams. It's not exactly what's going to happen. He's dreaming, but he knows something is happening. It's
And there's
visual.
they're bits and pieces too.
Yeah.
So it's like one time he'll see birds in a crazy amount of birds flocking together, just flying, up and
Yeah.
down, like honestly, like an apocalypse.
Or one time he sees, it's a wide variation. He sees people going crazy, pulling him out of the car and taking his kids and stuff.
Yep.
But it's so well shot and edited, like I said, is you never know if the dreams are dreams.
Right.
It never gives you, until he wakes up at the end, it never, so every scene you're like, what the hell's going on?
Well, and about midway through the movie, I started to really pick up on that. So every scene, I was looking for it. So, like,
Exactly.
for instance, and I'm not going to jump around, but for one instance, because it's not a spoiler, his daughter walks away from the car that he was working on. Immediately, I'm like, okay, this is a dream. Because it was about midway through the movie.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, okay.
You
there
could
it
try
is.
to start, but even like towards the end, like you said, we're jumping around, but towards the end when the diner scene,
Yes.
when he freaks out, you're thinking, oh, maybe this is a fucking dream. Because you really don't
'Cause
know.
you don't know.
Because the dreams, and like you said, that's what scares him the most, is these dreams are so fucking real. And so real to the point where he's feeling the dream after. Like in one
Well,
dream.
he's literally having a seizure after in some
Yeah,
of them.
and one dream, his dog that he's had forever attacks him.
Bites him in the arm in the dream, and he said his arm hurt for the rest of the day.
Yeah, and he ends
Yeah.
up, the dreams are so real, and he thinks, because he obviously doesn't think they're dreams, but he thinks that they're so real, and he's also seeing them in the outside world too, not just when he's sleeping, that it ends up affecting his real life. He ends up chaining up his dog and putting him in a kennel.
And
or
his
whatever.
wife's not too happy about that either.
No,
You know, understandably, because I mean that's been his dog his whole life, and then all of a sudden he makes a fence and a dog home for it, and you're like, what is going on?
And at one
here?
point, remember the daughter's playing with the dog, and he goes up and grabs her.
Yeah, and he says no.
Yeah.
Pulls her away.
And we gotta say, Jessica Chastain is also in this with. God damn! I mean, the director must have something special when you're getting
These big stars like this.
Yeah, and you know what Jessica Chastain was paid for this? $100 a day.
That's kind of a beautiful thing, though.
Absolutely,
that really
absolutely.
shows
I agree,
me
yeah.
that Jessica Chastain really cares about the art.
It is for the
Yeah.
It should. That's what filmmaking should be.
It is.
It
Yes.
shouldn't be just a paycheck. There's so many people that just come in and just cash a check. Joey Diaz was talking. Did you ever watch the Joey Diaz and Joe Rogan podcast?
Not yet. I have not gone through it yet. I've been doing other things.
They talk about a story about Shia LaBeouf doing a play, and it's with Alec Baldwin.
Mm-hmm.
Alec Baldwin came in the first day that they were supposed to be practicing, and he didn't know his lines. And Shia LaBeouf, it's a famous story, but Shia LaBeouf blew up on Alec Baldwin, and they ended up firing Shia LaBeouf for it. But yeah, he talks
Firing
about...
Shia LaBeouf for the other actor not knowing
Yep.
his lines. That's fascinating.
Yep.
Is it not?
Yeah, because it's Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. Well, I guess
Yeah.
so, but still.
Of course, yeah.
You're a professional.
Exactly.
Memorize
But
your
Alec
lines.
Baldwin made some excuse where he's like, I get these guys have a lot of energy and stuff, but it was just some bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, they fired Shia LaBeouf. But like, people just come in to do fucking... It's just a paycheck.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
To
what
some
Fast
people
and
it
Furious. Yeah, I don't want to mention, but yeah. So
I think
just
those guys genuinely have fun on set for as much as I hate those movies. But it is a cash.
I don't
cash
know
cow.
if they have fun because most of those guys fucking hate each other.
I guess so. You're right.
Yeah, so that makes it even worse in my opinion when you know they're keep doing it and no one's enjoying it.
And no one gets along on set. Yeah.
Yeah, why are you doing it then?
No idea.
As an artist, doesn't that hurt you? Doesn't that? I
does.
mean, so anyways, Jessica Chastain is Samantha, and like you said, they have a deaf daughter, Hannah, who hasn't been always deaf.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened where she got deaf.
And I like early on in this movie, they set up the whole thing where Jessica Chastain, Samantha, is talking about to this lady, her counselor or whatever, about how nice this health insurance is that they have with Michael Shannon Curtis's job.
Yeah, construction company.
Yes.
Yeah.
That they have really great insurance and that their co-pays are really low. And they set that up very early, and I paid attention to that. But that was very good writing.
And that's important. I guess I don't know where I want to get into it now, but that's important because at the end it showed that everyone was willing to give up all those comforts so to be with him.
Yeah.
To make it. But going into that a little more, this movie does a great job of showing you how difficult it is to have a mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as soon as he doesn't have a job, insurance gone. I mean, what are you supposed to do? What if you can't work because you have a mental illness? Then you have no insurance or anything.
Well, and then you become, why do you think we have could potentially be the reason why we have a huge homeless problem in this country?
Oh, absolutely. One of the reasons
it
for
could
sure.
be.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a lot of homeless vets on top of that.
But-
It's crazy you can serve a country and then not get the medical care that
Yeah.
you need coming home.
But his insurance, even with insurance, it wasn't that great. Remember? Because he had to go to the free clinic.
Yep.
And that shows you just how terrible that is because about 4 weeks into seeing the free clinic, he gets a new clinician.
Yes.
And after breaking down and telling him all that shit about his mom and shit and how hard it was to tell that his mom has a mental illness and stuff, the guy goes, okay, let's start there.
Yeah,
and he
let's
wants to
start there.
restart, and he just gets
When
up
he
and
just gets up and walks out. I mean, why do you want to keep revisiting that every single
exactly,
time?
but that's where everyone goes if you don't have insurance.
Yeah.
It's just case files. It's like in Joker, you know, where she just had
That is a
case
perfect
files
example.
and case files of patients. But yeah, so he's having dreams, and he's starting to have dreams that the people really close to him are hurting him now.
Yes.
Like his really good friend at work, and eventually he finds, or eventually he has a dream that Samantha is hurting him also. So that's really starting to freak him out.
I really like Ray McKinnon too, that actor
Yeah.
who plays his friend Kyle.
Yeah,
I love that guy.
He's good in everything.
he's in. He
Yeah.
was in Boardwalk Empire too.
they were both in Boardwalk
Yeah.
Empire.
Well, of course, yeah, Michael Shannon too, but you know.
Yeah, that's yeah, he's awesome in everything. That
Yeah.
guy is so good in everything that he does. He never plays a main role.
Mm-mm.
He's always
He's always the best friend or someone's
he's
worker.
always a side
brother.
character. Yeah. Yep. But But yeah, so eventually he goes and he sees a doctor, and they send him to a free clinic, like we said, and eventually he goes and visits his mom. Because when he goes to the doctor asks him how long it's been to see your mom.
He said it's been about a month.
Yeah, and what I was thinking when he said that was he's probably lying. It's probably been longer.
Probably been a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what we know about his mom is she's schizophrenic.
And she left him at 10. 10 years old.
Yeah,
he was 10 and his older brother was 17.
Because she started showing signs at 30, and then she left at 35. So he was raised by his dad, and he obviously never got rid of her.
And the story that he was telling was just one day randomly, she just left him at a grocery store.
Yeah.
She just drove away.
That's fucking brutal.
It's brutal and painful, man.
Oh, my God.
As a 10-year-old child not understanding the world, and to have the one person in your life that is supposed to always be there for you.
Evolutionarily
yes.
bound to you. That's a similar thing happened to Jeffrey Dahmer. His mother left, and then his dad left, and he ended up trying to create zombies out of people.
He did.
So they would never leave him.
Yeah.
That's the kind of emotional scarring
traumatic.
that, oh my God, dude, a 10-year-old. Imagine that. You just call your mom's gone.
Your mom's gone, and she never picks you up again. Yeah. And she's literally going to a psychiatric ward for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
So you never have that relationship with your mom. So just one day she's gone.
And then your dad, who I assume in Ohio, probably isn't talking about your feelings too much.
No, probably not.
And we got that sense. I don't say it just to be joking, but we got that sense when his brother came. And they were, you could tell couldn't really talk about anything.
No, and right away he was like, you know what, let me come over there and whoop your ass.
That part was so funny. He's like, let me remind you what an ass whooping feels.
Yeah, exactly.
Michael Shannon, who's huge, a huge guy.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the smartest choice to pick a fight with Michael Shannon.
I don't know.
Even if you are the older brother,
that
you
guy
got a lot
did
of
sound
balls,
like,
man. You got a lot of balls.
But yeah, so he keeps seeing visions, and now he thinks he's got an old storm shelter because it's in Ohio. They have tornadoes, right?
Yep.
So he's gonna start renovating this storm shelter because he's thinking something's coming. But he's not telling anyone this. Nope. He's really leaving this in, but he's showing a lot of weird signs about being He asked for the guy on his job, even though they've been working together for years, to be removed from his job because he had a dream that he took a shovel to him or something.
Yeah.
He attacked him with a shovel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's even getting jumpy when his wife
touches him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he ended up. That's pretty creepy.
That's
too,
a red
dude.
flag.
That's a huge red flag. I would be worried. As Samantha.
And you see it though; they play it off so well how scared she is but how trying to keep her composure the entire time because she doesn't want to scare her child.
And it was so good to be able to show those range of emotions whilst not saying a single word. I mean, when he pulled away.
Yeah.
It was really masterfully done.
It was. It's crazy, man. So he gets some medication to start sleeping, but he takes too much of it. Mm-hmm. And I like in this part, man, that medication he was taking was 100% mint Tic Tacs. When he put it didn't look like pills at all. So Go back and watch it. It doesn't.
Probably. Hey, look, man. When you got a $4.5 million budget, you gotta make it a little easy for people.
Yeah, but he was definitely taking mint Tic Tacs for sure, 100%. But he takes too much of them and he has a seizure, really bad seizure, and
starts bleeding from the mouth.
Yeah,
too,
which is a really bad seizure.
Yeah, that's not good.
It doesn't always happen. But so they call an ambulance, but
he walks it off like a champ.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Which is weird because I thought the ambulance would at least be like, I think we should take you in.
But he couldn't pay for it because at the time he had lost his insurance. Did he lose his insurance?
No, I don't think it was that.
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
But still, we saw that just the copay for the medicine that he was taking was $42.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he couldn't afford. I mean, just for an ambulance bill,
it's like $1,000.
It's so fucking expensive, and that insurance doesn't cover that. Ambulance
Really?
No. Oh yeah, you have to pay for the ambulance. So that's why when people get hurt, they don't call an ambulance.
No.
They say, just let me die. I don't want to pay for that shit.
Seriously. I don't want to be in debt for the rest of my life just to save me.
And it's a big time in their life because they're buying a beach house, and also their daughter is about to have a big surgery.
Yes.
What is it? The coach, I don't know how to say it. But the implant that makes you hear.
Surgery or whatever, yeah.
The implant that makes you hear, yeah. So he doesn't really want to spend money on anything.
No.
Except he's starting to get deeper and deeper into this project of renovating the shelter. And everyone in the town is aware. It's a small town.
It's a small town, and everyone's got loose lips.
They do. And
you know what they say about loose lips?
Yeah, and once he once he had that one guy fired, his boss, what's his name?
Kyle.
That guy told everyone.
He did. Which is such a dick move, because it's like, dude, he's borrowing the equipment. You can't do that. But as soon as he started borrowing the equipment, as soon as he told Kyle, I was like, dude, he's going to get fired for that.
Oh,
he's
absolutely.
He's going to get fired for that.
Because you saw Kyle was like, I'll help you out. I'll help you out because you're my friend. And then he helps him out, and he ends up getting a fucking 2 weeks unpaid leave. Yeah, with almost getting fired from it. So, but you can't blame that guy for getting mad.
But you kind of can, because he knew the guy was borrowing equipment, so you knew you had and it was Kyle who was opening his fucking mouth anyway.
Yeah, but he didn't know why that he kicked him off his job or anything. He just thought that was random, that he was afraid that he was going to tell people or something. That's why he went and told, because he thought he kicked him off the job that he was afraid he was going to tell or something.
Yeah, I guess so.
But also that guy had no idea. I mean, that he was going that kind of mental lapse that he was going through. I mean, he had no idea about that. I'm sure if he had any kind of clue that he was having prophecy visions that the world was ending, he may have laid back on telling everyone.
Probably.
Because the guy didn't seem like an asshole. They were friends first.
Yeah, they
were
friends.
really, really close, and that's why he was so mad that he kicked him off.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, he gets fired for taking a backhoe and a bunch of shit.
Yep.
To dig out this.
Which is crazy, because his boss shows up and he's like, dude, and I love Curtis. He tries to play it off. Michael Shannon plays it off where he's like, yeah, I just thought I'd borrow it for the weekend. I had it back within 8 hours. And he's like, dude, do you not understand? Had you had backed over someone or killed someone, what that liability does to my small business, you would have ended me.
And because of how good Michael Shannon an actor he is, as soon as he sees him in the house, he knows he fucks.
And he said, oh shit.
Yep. And you can tell him trying to play that off was just a last ditch effort.
Yep.
I mean, just to save his family. But so shit hits the fan. He gets fired, and
his wife was already. We should preface this too.
And man, she's a good wife.
She is a great wife.
Oh my god!
But initially, she was complete before she knew that he took the equipment. Without the boss's okay, she was completely against renovations because he didn't have money to begin with, and now he's renovating the shelter.
Yeah, and he had to go take out a home loan.
Yeah, and she was pissed about that.
Yeah, because they're buying this house, this beach house or whatever, and the surgery. So she gets pissed. She slaps him and walks off.
Yep.
But and this is after, because when he had the seizure, he tells her about the dreams, and obviously, she doesn't think she just thinks it's happening. Because he says, about my history. And he goes, what I went through and whatnot. So she knows what's going on.
Yeah, she definitely
Very
does.
Understanding. Yeah. The slap, I 100%
Can we just give this woman a Wife of the Year award right now?
Yeah.
Because she put up with a lot more shit than majority of people
Well, you felt that they were in love.
Yes.
That's the thing. You felt that they really actually cared about each other. Especially what she's willing to sacrifice in the end to stay with him. Even knowing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But so he extends his insurance for a couple weeks, right? Mm-hmm. They get that going, and they kind of make a plan that she's gonna find a job and he's gonna find a job or whatever. But she still wants him to go to this Lions Club community dinner. Yeah, what a fun time that will be.
Oh, right. And she said she just wanted one normal thing in her life.
Just one normal thing. This will be great for your mental health. Fucking going to the community center and having this small talk with
the community, with everyone who's pretty much...
That makes a sane man go nuts.
It does.
God damn, don't drag someone into that, especially when he's going through that shit. So he regrettably agrees to it. And they go to the dinner, and it's fine. It's super cool. They have a good time.
Everyone has a good
Nothing
time.
Happens.
It's a potluck.
Community does not leave there scarred forever.
Not at all. Plenty of dessert. Everyone's having a good time.
It's a good home cooking.
Yeah, of course.
No.
Gotta love that Ohio love.
Well, what's shitty is Kyle is like the cook. Because he's got a lot of off time now.
And he immediately sees Curtis through the door, and he's like, what in the flying fuck is this guy doing here?
Yeah.
You could tell he's instantly pissed when the camera pans to him. He's like,
I was hoping Jessica Chastain's character was going to be like, I invited him. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
But
the middleman.
But of course, I guess she didn't really know what was going on between them either. And
not the work part anyway.
Exactly. And Kyle engages with Curtis.
He does.
And I like that Curtis, he only took shit for so long, He gets in his face, and then he stands up. And man, as soon as Michael Shannon stands up, you know shit is about to go.
This was one of the most powerful scenes in this movie.
The fact that he was not nominated for an Oscar this year for this role blows my mind. This acting is so well done. This wasn't nominated at all for anything. I couldn't believe it. You know what won 2011? The King's Speech. How many people are still talking about The King's Speech?
I forgot that movie even existed.
Yeah. No one, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And Colin Firth won for Best Actor for that.
Wow.
The King's fucking Speech. Come on.
Shady.
Shady as hell. I mean, that just goes to show the best movie doesn't win an Oscar.
It doesn't win an Oscar.
No. The fucking King's Speech wins an Oscar.
There's politics, just like anything else.
There is.
God dang it.
But, so shit goes crazy.
It does. Ends up blowing up, and this scene right here was so tied to like biblical Noah, and when he yelled at all the people who thought he was full of shit, thought he was crazy.
Well, they still think he's crazy.
They do, but he built this giant ark. Right?
This dinner did not help his case at the crazy factor. I mean, he might have thought he was arguing for him,
right?
But he was arguing.
But it was the same way with Noah too. Like everyone made fun of Noah and said that no, you're crazy as well. Yeah. And so like I just saw the ties there to this.
Like I said, man, any prophets always. I mean, they of course they call prophets crazy. People that say they're prophets, and they do end up being crazy,
they
like
do.
Manson.
he
actually wasn't a prophet; he was just crazy. That's the thing; you can't really know. There's no way of knowing.
Taking a lot of psychedelics.
Yeah. But that's what scares people, you know? You could never assume this guy's having a fucking actual prophecy, right?
No.
What could anyone say to convince you of that? Nothing. No. Nothing. Even if these people could be as religious as hell, they wouldn't believe it.
No.
Fuck no.
Even if he had a deck of cards and picked the right card, I'd say like, it's a magic trick.
52 out of 52 times, they'd be like, no, come on, it's sleight of hand. So Kyle punches Curtis.
He does.
It gets physical, and Curtis doesn't like this. He goes over the table, flips the table, goes into quite the fucking rant.
He does.
Like the rant you see at a bus stop when some crazy guy's just going.
And it's the kind of eye contact where you don't look at him. You just try to ignore him. Try to ignore him.
And he's getting right in your face, and he wants you to just stare.
Oh, of course he does.
Stare at him so he could fuck you up because he's just looking for. Because he gets right in what is it, Marv's face?
Yeah, it's Marv's.
He's like, I'm crazy, Marv. Marv is like, no.
I'm just trying to enjoy a nice potluck dinner.
Look, I didn't want to come here either. This thing
He's like, my
sucks.
wife dragged me. I'd rather be home watching sports.
This is not what I want to happen. Interestingly enough, I read that all those people involved are just regular people from that community because they shot in Ohio. Mm-hmm. And they didn't tell them that a fight was going to break out. They told them that they were going to get free meals and they're going to shoot a scene, and they didn't tell them anything about the rant or anything.
Can I tell you
every
something?
reaction you see is real.
That's so funny because like when they were doing some of the close-ups of couples, I was like, they actually seem like just real
they seem
people. Like they don't even like you can tell sometimes with extras. I watch extras and sometimes they're like,
absolutely.
I hate it because sometimes
they're all
so
trying to
over
ham
the
it
top.
up. Yeah, they all want to be. Yeah,
and I'm like, we can't see you. I mean, I'm paying attention to you, but we can't see you. Yeah. Why are you doing it that much? But they just seemed like ordinary people.
Well, they fucking are.
They were. So that's funny. You
go back and watch when he starts screaming because their reaction looks pretty.
I saw that. That's where I was like, damn.
Stunned by this. Yeah, they had no idea he was going to come in there, punch him, or anything.
God.
That's good filmmaking.
That's great filmmaking.
That's like, I don't know what you call it, guerrilla filmmaking or something, but I love that kind of stuff. That's because you can't get that reaction. You can't shoot that twice.
No, you can't. That's a one and done kind of thing. You better get the shot.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's perfect because everyone's so scared no one's going to break character because they're all in the moment.
Yes.
So no. But yeah, man. Oh, man. Yeah, so he's enraged. He tells everyone there is a storm a-coming, and it's brewing. The storm might be in his head, or it might be a physical fucking storm.
Yeah, we're not quite sure yet. We don't know.
No, unfortunately, we're not. But he kind of shouts out the prophecy, saying it's going to be devastating, and it's going to be the one to stop everything.
To rule them all. Yeah.
So later, though, and the first time I watched it, and I bet you did too, when you hear the tornado alarm, you probably thought, oh, my God.
He was right.
It's fucking happening. And it happened that night. I guarantee he's in there going, I told you so, you
sons of bitches.
People are clawing at the door. Let us in. Nope, you bastard.
Can't hear you. What? Can't hear you. Oh, yeah.
He's
no
watching
Storm.
TV. And shit. Yeah.
No Storm.
Oh, Curtis is crazy? Oh, I'm the crazy one?
Yeah.
Because he bought a bunch of gas masks, too.
He did. Yeah, he went
Those aren't cheap.
all in.
Yeah.
No, they were like $200 a pop.
So, and this may be that scene at the dinner is really good, but this scene inside
Was
inside
one
the
of
shelter
best.
is just, it's heartbreaking, man.
is.
It is heartbreaking when because it's so scary too. You feel the fear that they are fearing, that this guy, because when you start out, you're thinking, "Fuck, this is gonna lead to a massacre."
That's what I thought.
Immediately, you're thinking,
I thought it was going
know.
to get real dark, where he was going to end up not letting them out.
Exactly. I mean, even before you say it, you think, geez, he's just going to end up killing them just to, quote, save them. I mean, that's always what fucking they do.
Yeah, it was getting dark where I was like, man, that's the case. I really thought that.
But Jessica Chastain is so good when she starts crying, and because he won't, because she's saying open it, and he goes, I can't.
And then he hands her the key, and she says no.
Yeah.
Because this
he
will
had to
just
do
keep
it.
happening.
Exactly.
She goes, you will walk out of here. If I open the door, you will walk out of here, know everything's fine, and go back to what you're doing.
Yeah.
You have to be the one to open this door.
But how difficult. What a fucking task to ask that, man. But that's how you got to do it, man.
Yeah.
That's the best
Well, because
therapy.
you got to break that. You got to
Yeah,
break
exactly.
that psyche, man. You got to break that paranoia.
But he's been building this up for weeks, maybe months, that the world is ending, and that he's to ask him to open that door after all that.
That's tough.
It's tough, man, but he does it.
He does.
He does it, but not after some convincing.
Mm-hmm.
But I love when he's like, touch it, touch it, touch it. You
Yeah,
can feel it, and he's
'cause
so
he was
scared.
Yeah,
He's
he was
so
still
scared.
hallucinating, I think, because when he touched
Well, there
it,
was
you
a
could
real
hear-
tornado.
Yes, there was.
But
I mean
he
that.
didn't think it was just tornado. He thought,
But the sounds.
yeah,
Because
exactly,
he put his hand up there, and we could hear it when he put his hand up there. But what's fascinating with the audio was that when Jessica Chastain put her hand on it, I didn't hear the same storm sounds.
Yeah.
They were both faint, or it was very faint, but I only heard it with Shannon's character.
Yeah.
When he touched the shelter wall.
But yeah, so there's no storm going on, and he opens it up, and it is
And real quick, before
relief.
Yeah, it is a relief. Before we jump into that, though, I gotta say, Jessica Chastain, that scene was one of the most well acted scenes I've ever seen her in a movie. Talking to Michael Shannon.
When she thinks he's not going to open it up and he's just going to let them die in there, you can see that she is scared.
Oh, you see
shitless.
everything. Yeah.
And you get a little relief when she opens the key, but you knew she was never going to open it herself. You knew that she knew that he had to open it. That was the only way they were getting out of there.
Yeah.
But to have a kid during all that and trying to be like not scare the kid, it's a fucking journey.
It is.
But it's good. You see all that reaction. It's just the acting, man. Jessica Chastain, she's
Even when he tells him, he's like, "Can you bring her back?"
yeah.
Before he opens the door, because he's like still completely in
And
fear.
putting like the oxygen on her and everything, because you can tell she's scared of him at that
Yeah.
point. You can tell she's not sure if that guy's
She's not
right.
cool with her dad at that moment. She's like,
Well, and Jessica Chastain, you can tell she's scared too, because it matters. She hesitates. She goes, no, with the oxygen. Who knows what he's pumping into her?
Yeah.
Could be fucking anything. But yeah, so they open up and it's sunshine, and it was like a weak tornado.
Yeah, it was like a very mild storm, and you could see the neighbors. It was funny. They're like picking up branches or picking over a little chair that tipped over.
Yeah.
Just showing the complete and utter insignificance of this storm.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they get out and they and she tells them, well, actually earlier on when he got fired, she came back, and remember that scene where he like puts her hand out and he grabs her hand and like hugs her, and he tells her all that shit. She tells him, you're going to see a real psychiatrist, not this free one or whatever. Yeah. So they eventually get to the psychiatrist, and he tells him some tough news that you can tell Michael Shannon or Curtis didn't want to hear. That he can take some time off, but after he does, he'll need some psychiatric care.
Planned psychiatric.
Care. Exactly.
Yes.
Inside, he's going to have to be committed.
Yep.
And that, you could tell, is just fucking, it's heartbreaking, but it's also amazing. Because for now they have an answer, you know.
Yep.
They have kind of a cure or whatever.
Something,
there's a
at
plan,
least.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
and it's
some
all
sort
out.
of-
It's all out where they all know what's going on and everything. So they're gonna go, because they always go to Myrtle Beach every year for a couple weeks.
Yep.
They're gonna go there.
Have a good time.
Exactly.
Make some sandcastles.
It's probably
maybe
the
a river
yeah,
in between.
and it might be the last time that they're together,
For a
all together
while.
for a while at least, and they all kind of know that.
Yeah, they do.
And you think, oh shit, it's over. You think this is just great. It's over, man. He wasn't crazy. At first, you're thinking, oh, he was the prophet. Shit's coming. Listen to that guy. That's what you're always thinking. Because you want to root for him. You don't want him to be
You
crazy.
don't want him to fail.
Yeah, you don't want him to be,
of course not.
You don't want him to be crazy. You don't want anyone to be crazy.
Well, especially seeing the past of his mom, too. Like, you really sympathize with that character.
Absolutely.
And everything
yeah.
he's been through.
And just the fear of knowing that he's so scared of losing his family through this and whatnot. But
and something that he can't necessarily control either.
Yeah,
with that mental illness.
It's completely...
And that's scary. Yeah. That's so scary for someone.
And a guy where you can tell it looked like he had everything very in control.
Yes.
You could tell not the uncertainty of it is what scared him. But so they're there. They're having a good time. They're building sand castles, whatnot. And this is I think this is very important because Jessica Chastain sees the storm, but Michael Shannon does not. He never looks at it.
Nope.
Jessica Chastain sees a big fucking cloud.
And this is that scene that I was talking about where we see the reflection of the storm through the sliding glass door and we get to see her reaction.
Yeah.
That's what I loved. I thought that was so well shot. It was so cool.
Yeah, that's all the cinematography in this movie is amazing. But yeah, she sees a storm and then she sees rain and it's just this real thick, oily rain, the rain that he was talking about, the rain he saw previously.
Exactly, and in his dreams, too. Remember the oily rain that he saw in his dreams?
It's not a good kind of rain.
No, the bad rain.
It is very fucking bizarre and very scary. And they see the storm is fucking growing and growing and growing, and the tide pulls back, and there's fucking tornadoes.
Yeah. And the tide pulled back significantly.
Yeah.
You could see how much that pulled back. And there were multiple tornadoes forming out in the ocean as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very apocalyptic.
And the
looking.
very last scene is Curtis and Samantha, just acknowledging it. Like, okay, you
with
see
no
this.
words either.
You see this.
And that's what I like too.
And you see what's happening now. Now you finally see.
Yep.
But that's the end, man. And that ending has been interpreted many, many times.
Well, that's so funny because as soon as it turned off, she was laughing at me because I just sat there and I was like, okay, I could interpret it. So hold on. So no, this whole time he is a prophet. He did know. Is this like a direct tie to
face value? Yeah.
Noah? Or like, you know what I mean? So, or was he actually a schizophrenic and he just happened to see it?
No. Well, my opinion is there's no storm at all at the end. It was all a metaphor, an allegory for Jessica Chastain finally seeing the disease that he has. That there's nothing actually going on. She just finally acknowledges, or she just finally sees the same thing that he's been saying. That he is actually just There's never ever a storm coming. The entire thing of him seeing nightmares of people that he loves hurting him. That was just his fear of people turning away from him once he got sick. Because he saw how people turned away from his mom when she got sick and how she ran away and that isolation. So it was all that. And how it was uninterpreted what the thing that was really going to happen at the end. They left it real. I don't think there was any kind of thing at the end. I just think it was acknowledgement. And that was that glance at the end was, oh, okay, now I see.
Yeah.
You are just sick. And her willing to give up everything, give up the health care and all that. I think that was what it meant. So you can interpret it for a lot.
Yeah, you can.
And I've looked it up, and Jeff Nichols, he said he left it completely ambiguous because
that's the way you do it.
Exactly.
That's the way you do it.
Exactly. You want to open ended. You want people to see whatever they see in it. So it can be left in anything. Yeah, on face value, you can see that he was just a prophet and there's real shit coming, or you can see that it was just all about mental illness the entire time, and the storm was. The storm of schizophrenia. At one point it was going to get so bad that he was going to leave and blow up and destroy his family.
It's kind of like open to interpretation like Robert Eggers' films, too. How he does that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's
how I would do it, too, man. I don't want a certain answer. Or any, Stanley Kubrick film or anything. He never came out and said, this is this is that. Because, a lot of people don't put symbolism in their shit on purpose. It just happens that way. We can break it down to a million different ways.
We can.
But at the end of the day, it could have been just the idea that this guy kept seeing stuff, and then we're interpreting that it's all mental illness and whatnot. That's what's great about films.
It is.
That's why we do it. But this film holds a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
162 reviews, so that's the real deal.
That is a real deal. It's certified fresh.
Certified fresh, absolutely, yeah. The consensus states Michael Shannon gives a powerhouse performance. I would agree.
Unquestionably.
God damn, he's good.
Yeah, let's kind of break down our reviews. I want to talk about first off, like, this movie is going to be very fascinating for us to both grade because I think this is a very genre-specific movie in the sense that this is a very slow burn film. You literally are doing a deep dive into a character for an hour before you really even get a sense of what's going on. Like, even with the family and everything else. These are my favorite kind of movies. These dramatic, like, yes, this is a psychological thriller, but I really enjoyed this movie, Cash, and I love the performances. I thought they were so spot on. The cinematography was beautiful, amazing for the CGI that they did have, as we had talked about earlier. It was only enough to just bring you into the movie. It wasn't over the top or anything out of sorts. For me, I gave the only thing I can think of for this movie is at times it did feel a little slow, but that was only to build up the character, which I enjoyed, but I can understand if other people found this movie a little boring at times. So for me, I gave this film an A-.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you, man. I give it an A- or an A. I wasn't bored at all. I guess I can see it.
No,
But
let me preface. Nor was I.
I was so interested at this character. Yeah, I was so interested at this character development and just where that character was going and guessing constantly, especially the first time I watched it, of like, do I have it figured out? And that's kind of the whole thing. The whole movie was that you're not supposed to have it figured out. He didn't have it figured out.
No one had it figured out either. The audience didn't. That's what I like.
Even at the end, I don't have it. I don't have it figured out, and I've seen the entire movie, so I still don't. But it's the kind of movie, and I think it's the staple of any good movie is when you watch it and it's still in your head days and days after, and where you're still constantly. But I've seen this movie 3 or 4 times, and every time I watch it, I'm just left constantly thinking about it, man. I don't know what it is, but it's I don't know. It's a powerful film.
It is.
I would definitely recommend it, and it's gonna make you probably paranoid as hell.
It definitely will.
Definitely, and but it's just a great movie at showing mental illness. You know, a lot of movies do not do a good job of showing that. They kind of ham it up and make it just too theatrical with I don't know, with seeing, you know, these hallucinations and shit like that. But this film does a really good job, and just how scary it is of going through something like that, and how hard it is. Yeah. It should not be so difficult to be crazy.
It shouldn't.
If you're crazy,
well, you should be able to get help sooner too, and not have the burden of paying thousands upon thousands of dollars to go seek some help.
Not to pay $42 per prescription,
That's
and he goes,
wild.
"What's the copay?" The lady goes, "That's the copay." Imagine if he didn't have insurance, the guy would be paying thousands for a bottle
exactly of some basic medicines.
David, I don't want to get too political, but
right.
But you know, our country's made it very hard to be crazy, and it's like you can't do anything about being. No one chooses to be crazy.
No, of course not. That's not your first option. You're not like, I want to be crazy.
No one, and I don't even like saying crazy, but with mental illness, you know, it's no one chooses to have a mental illness.
No,
what does it hurt? What does it hurt us from getting those people helped?
Yeah.
If I had a mental illness, I'd want to be helped.
Of course.
I wouldn't want to see some free clinic where a guy doesn't give a fuck about me.
And that's just humanity in general. Like we don't want to see people suffer and in pain. We want to help.
Hopefully.
Know? Well, hopefully, yeah. I guess not.
I think some people don't give a fuck as long as it's not happening to them.
As long as you're making the money off the
but
prescriptions.
you don't know the sky's falling till peace hits you, right?
Good point.
If one of us goes mentally crazy, you know, I mean, what are we? We
a pretty interesting podcast.
If I could deliver the monologue that he delivered during that diner scene, then it could be a pretty good podcast.
It could be.
Well, Mason, is there anything else? Would you recommend this to people?
Highly recommend this. I really enjoyed this, and I'm glad you picked this movie because I didn't even know this movie existed. So.
And I love doing that. I love introducing anyone to a movie that I loved. I knew you would like it, though.
Oh, I saw the cast. I was excited. I'm like, okay, here we go.
I knew when I said it, you were probably a little iffy because you never heard about it. But there's so many movies like this that fly under the radar that people miss because they're seeing the King's speech.
Right.
Oh, my God. If I want to see some millionaire, billionaire king give a speech, that guy's got an easy life. I don't want to see his story. I want to see this guy's.
Well, you could have just turned on the coronavirus thing today. A billionaire just gave a speech.
Well, that's all. That's any time you ever see a political speech.
That's true. Billionaire and millionaires, yeah. Oh, gosh.
All right. Anything else on this?
No, I think that wraps it up, Cash. So if you guys like what you see here, if you're watching this video on YouTube, congratulations, because you just survived all 50 minutes. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification. We're going to be putting new videos up. We'll plug it again. We're doing top videos. We're doing 5-minute movie reviews, a lot of different things on our channel. So please go check that out. Subscribe, comment, let us know what you think. Give us ideas too. If you guys see anything, let us know. We really want to start getting more interactive with you guys and talking more. Be sure to check out our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. Subscribe. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes. We could always use that as well. My name is Mason, social media pages as well. Twitter, Seen It Podcast. Twitter, Seen It Podcast. Cash is on Twitter. That's just Cash. Instagram, Have You Seen It? Facebook, Have You Seen It Podcast. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Kraus. Until next time.
Bye.